where does that put Americans? Are we should we have boots on the ground? Should we be sending money? Should we be sending ammunitions?
We already are.
What is reasonable for Israel to do in response?
We need to blame England and be like, hey, yo, you take care of this. This is your mess. Time to clean it up. You didn't clean it up in 1918. We should do that now, though, because you took a long time. This could have all been solved at some point, but like you procrastinated. It's kind of like when a kid doesn't do their chores. Like, you need to participate and also help fund this now.
And where do you? So if we're saying that Britain needs to fix this, then obviously as being allied, where does that put Americans? Are we should we have boots on the ground? Should we be sending money? Should we be sending ammunitions?
We already are. It's effectively a Cold War.
But...
Well, so I do have a bit of a different point of view on this. I don't believe America necessarily needs to have military intervention or any major kind of funding. The Israeli IDF is one of the most powerful militaries in the area.
Number 5,
yeah, their defense force is something to behold. And we see this with the 6-Day War. We see that Israel can stand on its own. Indian, I actually messaged you a few days ago, and I had made a prediction about why Hamas actually made these attacks. And I do feel like I have been quite vindicated on my prediction, because Hamas cannot win this war in any sense of the militaristic matter. And what they've done is really driven the Israelis into a blood frenzy, and they are wanting civilians to be targeted, to cause outrage and to cause other Islamic states to go in and declare war on Israel. As far as that would require military intervention, because like it or not, Israel is an ally, and it's also a strategic strong point for Western powers in the area. That is a foothold nation, and it's basically a fort nation. And say what you want. I could be pessimistic. I could be militaristic, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. Israel is our refueling depot and our foothold into any Middle Eastern conflict.
So I think that's a good place from an American perspective to dive in and to say, okay, what do we want to happen here? And so can you explain a little bit more about why Israel is so advantageous to America?
Well, so you have the proximity to the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal brings trade all throughout the Mediterranean into I'm forgetting the sea over there, but it basically bypasses all of the African Horn and all the African coast.
You got one of these maps here.
That's a local map. Need more of a need a geographical map of the area, but that is a standpoint where a lot of geopolitical conflict today is based around trade and energy. So it's not that big of a deal, but as well as that, it's also a refueling station for Western powers if we needed to go into the Near East there. Of course, we have bases in Japan and South Korea and the Philippines and Australia. That's one side of the conflict, but we also can refuel planes in Israel and go attack attacks of opportunity, possibly against the Chinese or any kind of Eastern threat on that eastern border there. Well, we have the West kind of covered with our Blue Water Navy.
Okay, and that makes perfect sense. But as Rabbi Glickman is saying, if their military is so strong and Hamas can't win this, then do the Americans or the British, for that matter, need to get involved at all?
I feel like we might be getting trolled, by the way, because his name is Rabbi Glickman, which is like.
He's who he is. Trust me, he is this guy. He is Rabbi Glickman all the way. I mean, I don't know if he's really a rabbi, but he has these kind of opinions all the time. He is who he is.
Like he has a picture of an old man.
Oh, I know that. I know.
With a cowboy hat on.
Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet. I'm aware. But he has a point, does he not?
Well, do they need us? It's also we need them in a weird way, in my opinion.
We need them to exist, but we don't need them. And so if they can exist on their own, we don't need their military help right now. So should they be sending soldiers over here because they need us? We're not in trouble. We can handle ourselves. If they can handle themselves, why are we sending anything over there?
We send them weapons and we send them money.
That's what I'm asking. Why?
And it's also a important, target for American infrastructure. The Intel factory is based in Israel, so that is another major component of modern American lifestyles is computing technology. And the Intel factory there, multi-billion-dollar factory that makes all the processors there, and so much so that they actually make these processors with light. And you can, I'm willing to put money on it right now. After these attacks, we are actually going to see issues with Intel processors that have been manufactured during this period, because they won't be as many i9s. It's going to be i7s. A lesser product there.
But hey, Rabbi's question has not been answered. So again, why do they need us to fight on their behalf?
In my opinion, we don't.
And so, like Soil is saying, if their military is so strong, in big part because we have been funding them, we have been sending them intelligence, we have been sending them money, we have been sending them munitions.
So I don't.
Do we need to get involved, or do we need to get further involved? I guess I should say.
I think that we're going to end up doing the following, and we're going to probably send them more. It will be more of a version of a Cold War. Honestly, we'll be sending them, we'll be funding them like we did Iran during the previous Cold War. And we'll kind of like what we're doing in Ukraine right now, which is such a dumb fucking idea.
Yeah. Guys, real quick, if I can ask you a huge favor, can I just get 5 more likes, please? We got 13 in here and only 6 likes, please. It is so easy. It's free. Just tap it and we're done. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, I do see a lot of parallels with what's going on in Ukraine, and I'm seeing a lot of the same rhetoric about how we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to play world police. And I mean, aside from the fact that, thank you for the likes, guys. Aside from the fact that we have, what's the word I'm looking for? Like agreements in place, I'm still just like questioning them. Are these even good deals that were made so long ago that the fighting's been going on? It's getting, it keeps flaring up like this. Maybe it's time to be like, you either figure your shit out or stop tying us to this.
Well, and that's the kind of question, because I do believe there's a possibility Israel could stand on its own. It's not a very strong possibility, but, a lot of it is, it is not just a, give relationship. It is a give and take. Israeli intelligence is some of the best intelligence in the world. And we can go into the conspiracy theories of, the Mossad actually knew about, this attack beforehand, and they let it happen to finally, do an ethnic genocide on the, people of Gaza. That is an argument, but that's the same argument, that Bush knew about 9/11 before it happened.
But they told when he unpaid $8 billion for those hostages, which is, by the way, unheard of in any sort of these were like 4 useless human beings. I think it was like 46. Like
they were American citizens, but yeah,
but useless to the American people. Like if they would have died, it would have been a tragedy, sure. But like, what difference would it have made? Did they have intel? No. Were they any high ranking of anything? No. So you had these hostages, and when he unfroze that money, they specifically said, "We are going to use this money to buy weapons," and they are the largest funder of Hamas. So why wouldn't Hamas also get those weapons? And guess where they came from? All those weapons we left in fucking Afghanistan.
Yeah, no, I'm in total and complete agreement on that. And something on Rabbi here, a Zionist does not necessarily have to be every world and political view of someone. I just, as a Christian, and I know, Indian and I have had discussions on this. As a person of faith, I do have a certain, and this is, not rational. This is not my military hat on. This is just my faith hat, that's coming on that says, no, I support, cliche as it is, God's chosen people. But again, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not using this as a militaristic, ideas. I'm not forming any kind of tactics off, these personal beliefs I have.
Well, but
this
isn't that how we got here in the first place? Isn't that what how we got here in the first place of allowing this thought that there is such a thing, not allowing, but perpetuating this thought that there is such a thing as God's chosen people? Isn't that how we got here?
Okay. Look, and I'm not going to defend Israel or Judaism in any iteration, but the word religion is so vast, right? It's like saying every type of meat is the same type of meat.
What?
But hear me out. Like,
I'm listening.
There are violent religions and there are more non-violent religions. The
Sure.
least non-violent religions is called Jains. They're actually from India. Jains, whatever. They don't even fucking like to eat garlic because you got to pull it up from the goddamn dirt and you might disturb a bug. It's absurd. Literally, like they're scared that you're going to kill a worm. Am I an atheist? I'm agnostic. I don't know. I've had some weird shit happen to me, so I'm like not real sure.
We are
like
okay.
Most
fair enough.
American Jews.
I probably should have asked more specifically if you are a practicing Jew or just more.
I've been bat mitzvahed and I've read the Torah enough, and I drop the Jew card almost every day, so it's like.
Has a good question. Just what happens if we don't negotiate with terrorists? What happened to that?
Like the right where it's like, we should just bomb all of Palestine and build a synagogue. And at some point that might be the situation. However, you also have to think Egypt and Jordan are right there. In Jordan, we do a lot of trade with Jordan, a lot of trade. It's the only place that doesn't have any import tax to the same extent that it does anywhere else in the world. It's our road through China. There's a lot of like logistical things that would make it harder. We're having a problem like putting shit on our shelves right now.
Right.
Pissing off somebody.
So why don't we play that out? Like let's say that we see the fighting continue to escalate, and so like right now we're not in a position like who is just saying Scott Joseph is just saying again the Israelis are not asking for boots on the ground.
No, they're not.
And like not yet. But if things continue to escalate, let's say that they are asking for boots on the ground. What happens if we do send American troops? What happens if we don't send American troops?
So I think it's going to be something similar. I think we have to look at this in a way of like, what is the violence going to look like? I think if it escalates and we don't get involved, it'll be something like World War II where we come out not looking so clean. And like we waited for our own benefit.
Okay. I have seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this is worse than the Holocaust already," and which maybe it will, but it seems very early to say that kind of thing.
Not one psychotic person who is himself the same religion that he fucking hates, and the warmongering begins.
Well,
listen, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna marry you because you're also Jewish, and my mom will probably really like it.
Go ahead, Brosnan.
The point of warmongering here is, I am one of those people who have, I've mentioned how the IDF can handle it, by themselves right now. This is a flashpoint right now, though. We are seeing tensions like we saw in the Balkans during the First World War. This has the potentiality to bring more people into the war. The best bet right now is to try and, I hate to say calm, things down because Israel has all the, just going off what we've seen in the past week, they are completely in the right for their actions. We can talk about historically, what the Israelis have done and, how this could be a bubbling point up to it. But right now there is enough fervor within the American population, within the, Western populations that Israel can basically do no wrong now. We are actually seeing some major people pushing back, but it is one of those things where I do highly suggest caution.
Fair enough, and I don't think it's cliche at all to say that we want things to we want things to calm down. We don't want war to escalate. We don't want people to die. That's not cliche at all. Shout out to Rabbi Glickman shooting his shot. And shout out to Tom Brokaw. Welcome to the party. Said Israel will ask for money, but they won't need American soldiers. Israel has never had problems winning wars on their own. Okay, fair enough. So
Hold on, I need to cover up because I'm not being not being.
No. I'm trying to run a show
Traditional
here.
Jewish
Come on.
enough.
Let him fly. Let's go.
Shoulder. It's her
Nah, we like every other channel. We love to say how horrible it is to be a whore of a woman, but we love to see titties. I mean, come on.
I mean, do I gotta, kind of,
and wants me to be honest for him, and wants me to be, he wants me to cover my shoulder, my elbows on my wrist. Sorry, boo. I'm so sorry.
I think he's enjoying the show. I'm just saying. I think he's enjoying the show. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.